Welcome to my abundance walk. I just made this up today. I couldn't think of a better way to end the abundance month than going for an abundance walk. So I want to model what this looks like so then you can do it for yourself, because there's something really, really powerful about moving your body and thinking about all the blessings in your life, all the people in your life, and then narrowing down, like if you want to go specifically to the last 30 days and allowing all of that to fill your body up and just allow it to overflow. Just enjoy like all the feelings. What we think expands. What we focus on expands. And so it can be very easy to focus on what's not working, what does not feel good. And there's an absolute time and place to do that. However, I feel like a lot of times we ruminate. It's one of my favorite new words. We ruminate on all of that stuff versus ruminating and overthinking all the good stuff, all the things that could happen that would be amazing. Like, what if you got everything that you've ever desired? Sometimes that can freak people out because they're like, well, then what? Like, right? Like, and that sounds so wild, but like, it is a big subconscious fear of a lot of people where they're like, but then what? Like, I even think that when like our kids move out, like, oh my gosh, what do you do then? Like, the house is quiet and what do we do day to day? Like that seems so foreign to me, right? And it can be really scary. So although we like desire so much, like this is why I've been talking about working through your fears of your wealthiest self, because we all have them. Like, we're human. However, there's a big difference between having fears and them stopping you versus having fears and not allowing them to stop you. So I do want to give a shout out to Kristen Rourke with Busy Mom Bod for sponsoring this episode. So an abundance walk. You can also do like a dream walk. You can do a gratitude walk. You can do an abundance walk. So the goal when you do this is to pick a word. I'm going to do abundance because that was the focus for this last month. And I already started it before I went live because I already wanted to be like in the energy for you. So you start your walk and you have like the word in mind and you just start moving and you start seeing what shows up for you. Like, what events in the last 30 days? What did you accomplish? Like, who was there for you? What surprised you? Like, in a good way? Like, there's always going to be those spontaneous blessings that you're like, oh my gosh, like that wasn't on my to-do list today. I wasn't expecting that. Those are like the juiciest of juiciest gifts when it's like something that you're not expecting. So I wanted to do it for you, for myself, but I wanted to model it for you because I think it can just be huge. So my word is abundance. So I'm already on my walk. So abundance. Wow. The last 30 days, I had no idea what to expect. I woke up on August 1st, 2024, and sometimes you just feel different. It's hard to put your finger on. I knew I was going to do some sort of birthday bash. I had this may shock people, but I had no true idea of all the details. I did not know what was going to come from everything. Like, I just trusted myself abundantly, like truly. Like, even the word abundance came to me on August 1st. So I knew I was going to do a birthday bash. I knew I wanted to do deals and giveaways. I did not have any posts scheduled. I did not have every single giveaway picked. I did not have every single offer picked. I trusted myself. And I think that that's really important for you to hear, because sometimes on the online space, mentors and like people that maybe a little ahead of you or a lot ahead of you, like if they're not telling you everything, then you assume certain things, at least I have, and you may assume that they have like all the hours in the day or they have everything planned out. And so I really strive to be very transparent and very real. Like, do I think that having social media planned out is important? For sure. And we did. But when it came to the birthday bash specifically, like every single post was my fingers. It was my energy, my ideas, my responsibility. So the team didn't even know. Like, they were trusting me. And we were all just rolling with it together. And like, one, to have that level of abundance from my team and trust is huge, because I haven't always had that. And that's been hard. I am different. Sometimes I do fly by the seat of my pants. I am a very structured, planned person, but also so spontaneous at the same time. Like it's a very interesting mix. But like authentically, abundantly me is the mixture of both. And so what I have found is the sweet spot for my business, specifically social media marketing, is to have a mixture of planned content, planned mini launches, planned, strategies, but then allow myself to have wiggle room, flexibility, spontaneousness. And that has been huge for me. It allows me to feel like I can just truly be myself. And to have a team that celebrates that and just embraces that has truly allowed me to be me unapologetically, abundantly, like nobody's business. And so I just wanted to first share that. I did not have it all planned out. I just woke up. I trusted myself. I think that another word for August for me was faith, because I think in order to fully embody abundance, you've got to have faith and trust in yourself. And we always want the guarantee as humans. We want the guarantee, and the guarantee doesn't come until you do the work. And so I consider myself a really good manifester. I have manifested some really cool things and opportunities and success. And to me, manifesting is doing. You don't sit around and wait. It's the energy of manifesting for sure. But it's I'm a doer. And so I know no matter where life takes me, no one can ever take that skill away. It is a skill. It can be taught, can be harnessed. And so what August taught me was the more I lean into it, the more the blessings show up. So have I had random, blessings, all throughout my life? For sure. But August felt on supercharge is the only way I can describe it. I'll just kind of start rattling things off that were very unexpected. They were not on a to-do list or a goal list or anything like that. But I do believe in my heart of hearts, because my energy, my frequency was growing and increasing every single day, because abundance operates on a very high frequency. Love, same thing. Trust, same thing. Money, same thing. So those things that you desire, they operate on a very high frequency. Anyone can access them, but you have to work on your frequency, which is you. It's your energy. It's your thoughts, your words, your actions. That's the woo-woo side of manifesting and money. And so August really reminded me of that. Wow, I can literally pour gasoline on my desires by me increasing my frequency, my energy. So a few ways that I did that was daily steps, Like I averaged 10,000 steps a day, give or take. There were a handful of days that were lower. I think like 2 to 3 days that were lower. There were days that were like 15 to 20. I think I even had almost like a 30K step day. So overall, fantastic. I actually looked at my stats from like my step stats from last year. The highest, like my average from last year when it came to steps was like in the 3,000s. So that, talk about like ginormous, abundant growth by focusing, right? Like what we focus on expands. So the fact that I was tracking my steps day in and day out, I was way more successful than I wasn't. I added in a daily sales quota every single day, which some people think that this is not good. Some people think it's good. I think you do whatever works best for you. But I used it as a tool, again, manifesting. I didn't make it mean anything about myself if we were higher or lower. But like when I put my CEO hat on, like I'm the CEO of a movement. Like I do have responsibilities financially. And so I personally believe it is important to have a sales quota. Now, is it the end all be all? No, like people come first, but there is a time and a place to put your CEO hat on and just get really honest with yourself, because like if I'm saying I want to make this a big deal, then I gotta like walk the walk and talk the talk and look at my numbers. And so just like my step count, that was essentially like what I was doing for my business every single day. And it really did make it cool and fun and interesting, because it was like, oh wow, like, you know, just even putting more energy around it. You know, I wasn't married to it had to be a certain way. Like we had to like reach a quota by a certain way or anything like that. It was just like getting the energy on board and tracking it and observing it more than anything. And so I do believe how you come to your numbers does matter, because if you check them and then you just like shame yourself every single day, that's not great. But if you come to them and go, wow, like we did really well today. And then you start to think about like, okay, well, what did we do? Like, where did those dollars come from? Like, how did they happen? Because I don't believe anything is an accident, especially things that are meant for us. And so when we can really like start to pinpoint what's really moving the needle forward for you, then you can double down on it. And so that was a really fun thing that I added in August. And so that was huge. So some of the spontaneous things were like, I had my, like a big order coffee paid for, on one day. I got to see a friend that I have not seen in years, that we used to be super close, and then just like mom life hit, and like we finally got to be able to get together. And like I'm a sucker for quality time. I have really understood over the years that is one of my top love languages, quality time. It is why I believe I'm a mentor. Like I actually really enjoy talking on video, talking in Telegram, talking in the DMs, like, and I'm an introvert, but like since quality time is my love language, and I can balance that, right, and have like energetic breaks, it really does fill my heart. Now it's getting dark. It really does fill my heart. So my, like a big coffee order was paid for with the person in front of me. So a stranger. Has that happened every now and then? Like, yes, like once in a blue moon. So that happened. I got to see a friend. I had another food order paid for. So many people sent me gifts and love and like encouragement. And they're like, oh my gosh, I see what you're doing. Like, even one of the top sales copywriters in the industry literally reached out to me. And she's like, I see what you're doing and I want you to teach me. Like, I like melted in a puddle. Like, talk about abundance. Like, holy smokes. We had so many done for you clients join us and be so incredibly happy, so blown away with our expertise, our execution, our organization. Like Sarah came to town for a weekend. We got tattoos. We manifested 4 Taylor Swift tickets. Let's not forget that, for November 1st. Marathon training. This is all in 30 days. And I'm sure I'm going to forget something. Emma went off to 1st grade. I'm home with Boone full time. We've gotten I have scrubbed my house. I wish you could see me at work, meaning my house. Like, I have scrubbed the floors, the cabinets. I have gone OCD bananas on my house, and there's still more to do, but it has felt so good getting my house so clean and organized. Like, I really want to do like a cribs house video where it's like mom edition. Like, it's not gonna be perfect, but like, I've been getting so many like systems and organization, and like, I'm just really proud. So if you want to see that, let me know. But just so many new conversations with people. Like, seriously, like, people were sponsoring other people and sending me Venmo money, and they're like, hey, this is for a single mom. Like, I want a single mom to be able to go through your program. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, just so much abundance in so many different ways, from quality time to love to gifts to, financial blessings. Like, literally, I got an opportunity for some money to be able to grow the movement. And I was just like, where did this come from? Like, and again, abundance. Like, I literally wrote in my journal that morning, like, I know someone wants to give me a large sum of money. And I kid you not, within hours, I got an email for a huge opportunity for the movement. And I was just like in tears. I was like, I have to take this. This is literally going to help us so much. Like, it's going to be able to supercharge everything that I have in my head. Like, I'd be silly not to take it. Like, and again, abundance is trust. Abundance is belief in yourself and not lack. You can have all the money in the world and have a lack mindset, lack energy. And you can have no money and have lack mindset and lack energy. Same thing with abundance. You can have all the money in the world and be super abundant. You can have no to little money and still be abundant. Like, it is not what is in your physical possession, whether that be what you have, what's in your bank account. Like, that doesn't define abundance and lack. It doesn't. It's what is in your head. It is what is in your heart. It's what is in your energy, your frequency, more than anything. Like, does the physical stuff matter? Like, what's in your bank account and what you have? It can, but like, what is so important is your energy. Then we go to the physical stuff and the bank account and all of that stuff. But people chase the bank account, or they chase the stuff. I know I have, thinking that that is what's going to fulfill them. That's what's going to make them feel abundant. And it doesn't. It's not, it doesn't work that way. It's the opposite. You feel abundant, and then you have more, you create more abundance. And what's so cool about that is then you keep more abundance. You don't lose it, right? Like, think about some people that have gone off to the NFL or won the lottery and then like went bankrupt. A lot of that is they probably, one, didn't have a financial planner, and two, they were in a lack mindset, lack energy, which sounds so crazy because they just got all of this money, but it's the energy. When you don't feel safe with money, you're going to spend it all. But when you feel safe with money, you want to keep it, you want to invest it, you want to give it, you trust that it's just this beautiful fountain that's just going to keep flowing and flowing and flowing, and it does. So that was a little TEDx talk there. But anyways, what else happened in August? Oh, my clients and students are just winning. We up-leveled their student like online experience. So we rolled that out this past week, and they're so happy with it. This has really proven to me this month, the more I rise, the more everyone else around me rises, which doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like pressure. It just is a reminder to me of like, oh, like I really want my clients to win, but I can't force them to do things, but I can focus on me, and that actually is going to inspire them, right? And like, of course, like, you know, checking in with them, answering their questions, but like me modeling things is the highest form of mentoring, in my opinion, because when you can see my embodiment and essence and energy, you want that for yourself, and you're so much more motivated because of me walking the walk, not just talking the talk. And so I've known that for a while, but this month just really reminded me, because like I messaged one of my mentors and I was like, okay, you do this really well and your clients are always winning. And I just feel like my clients are winning on a level that like, I'm so proud of them. Like it's across the board wild. Like I call it wealthy leaping, like quantum leaping, wealthy leaping. Like they're just leaping so fast. And it feels good. It doesn't feel forced. Like they're telling me how good it feels. And I think a huge part of that is me embodying me doing what I'm doing. And then they're inspired to go do the same. And even people that aren't my clients have shared. They're like, oh my gosh, you're just really inspiring me. And so it's like, we forget how important us doing the work is. It's like, it's everything. So yeah, what else happened in the month of August? Scrubbed my cabinets, got Taylor Swift tickets, you know, just living the life over here. Marathon training has been going beautifully. It's mid-October. I do not feel nervous. I'm sure I'll feel a little nervous on race day because that's just normal, but I don't feel scared. I don't feel fearful. I've been putting in the steps. I take my daily green shot. I've been getting in more protein and water. I just feel like I've really found my groove across the board, like on every level possible. Like it's really cool. And kind of like this moment where you're just kind of like, it can just be this good. It can just be this simple and fun and basic. Like nothing I'm doing is mind-blowing. It's just consistent and finding ways to gamify it and, you know, not allowing little hiccups to derail me. And just anything that shows up, like there was a lot of fear and resistance around the Taylor Swift tickets. And it was actually really good for me. I needed that edge. I needed that those feelings and emotions to show up. I actually feel like that was abundance. Like it was showing me some edges and shadows that I was like, okay, this feels scary. Let's work through this. Why does it feel scary? And so I'm so glad I had the time privately to work through it and continue to move forward and like make it happen. And then by the time it happened, I felt calm. I felt excited. I felt like kind of like matter of fact, like, well, of course this is happening. Like I've been working towards this. By the time I purchased the tickets, it was like essentially like 29 days. But can you imagine? Let's just like talk about you for a second. I hope you're enjoying your abundance walk here with me, my example. Again, sometimes my lighting is not the best, but we're going to roll with it because we ain't perfect here. We don't try to be perfect. So this is what you get. So anywho, I want you to imagine it's 29 days from right now. When you're watching this video or listening to this on the podcast, it's 29 days from now. Can you imagine if you could manifest something massive in your life that you really desire? Like, and never say never. Because if you would have told me 29 days ago because it was only 2 Taylor Swift tickets in the beginning, not 4. And 2 felt hard. 2 felt challenging 29 days ago. And then even when I had the resistance, I was like, let's go for 4. It has to be 4. And I really do believe some of the resistance that I was having was it didn't feel right in my body to not invite 2 wealthy mamas to go with us. Like, and I, again, like, sometimes resistance is there for a reason. It doesn't mean it's bad. And so when I finally realized, like, what would feel really good to me is, yes, to reward Sarah, because she's done so much. I really look at this as like her year-end bonus, if you will. She, like, that girl does so much for me and everyone. It's ridiculous. But amazing. And so, like, it felt good to send her with me. But then, like, the minute that my body was like, oh no, we need to get 2 more, then I was like, oh, yes. And then the resistance, I kid you not, just kind of like faded. This street is really dark. It's kind of creeping me out. So as soon as that happened, it felt so much better. And I really believe then it happened really fast. And so just imagine it's 29 days from now for you. What's like one thing? I do believe focus is key. Okay. What's one thing that you really desire? Because now I feel unstoppable. I feel like I just unlocked another level. Working through the pain and the resistance and the fear is a part of the process, because what's on the other side is so freaking worth it. Like, so worth it. Like, I have desired our dream home, like our forever home, for so long. Like, if I could tell you everything I've done to like manifest our dream home, it would be like a whole nother video. But what I have realized was, okay, maybe I needed to unlock a couple levels before that, for that to fully happen. And so the Taylor Swift tickets really felt like a stepping stone to the dream home. Because as soon as I got my brain on board, my energy on board, my strategy on board, and like everyone, it's kind of like a team, right? Everyone like calibrated and made it happen. When you unlock it, it feels exciting. And then for me, there still is a little bit of fear, and then it kind of just like dissolves, and it's like, okay, cool, this is happening. Like, there's no turning back now. Kind of like when you sign for your dream home, if you sign for a mortgage, it's like, well, like the papers are already signed. Like, here's your keys, you're already moving in. Like, you can't turn back. No refunds, right? And so I really like had an aha moment with the Taylor Swift tickets, because I was like, now I feel unstoppable. Now I'm ready to go to the next level, because I realized maybe I was trying to leapfrog too many steps, like too many money levels, I should say, before unlocking like fully the dream home. Your desires are already yours. They wouldn't be placed on your heart if they weren't meant for you. But what can happen is, if we've never experienced a certain level of money, it can feel really trippy. It can feel really challenging. So like, as I was getting my brain on board with Taylor Swift tickets, because they were a significant amount of money, I'll go through all the details on another video, but we still got a really good bargain. But anyways, it was still a significant amount of money. But how I got my brain on board was like, I've spent this money on an Airbnb for a retreat. I've spent this money on a venue. I've spent this type of money on, what else have I spent that on? On masterminds. I've spent that type of money on rent for an office space, like multiple months. And I've really streamlined my finances between no daycare, no office space, like very lean, like mentoring and support. Like, I'm very like straightforward on like who I want to support me, a very lean team. So like, we're able to really strategically grow the movement because I don't have a lot of overhead. And so like, that was really helpful for me, just to remind myself of like, yeah, like, this is a significant amount of money, but it's an investment. This is not an expense in my eyes. Like, this is an investment, and I don't even think I know the level that is going to like happen from this, but I just like, I knew it in my heart, and that is true abundance. That is true abundance. Saying and doing abundance are two very, very big different things. When you actually practice abundance, it is leaping first, and trusting yourself, trusting the process, knowing that no matter what happens, you've got yourself. No matter what. I had to get the fear of, well, what if someone judges me for doing this? Okay, guess what? People judge Taylor Swift all day. They judge her all day. They say they don't like her voice, or they don't like her decision, or whatever it may be. Guess what? She's still a billionaire. Like, not everyone's gonna like everything that you do. So I just had to, like, again, like, we all have that inner people pleaser. And so I just had to work through that of like, it's okay if someone doesn't like what I do. That's why I'm my own boss. Like, you don't have to like it. You don't have to be involved, because I know the people that are meant for me and meant for the movement will totally see the vision and be so excited to be a part of it. And so that's all that matters to me. I'm not here for everyone to like me. I've been blocked and unsubscribed many times. I'm in a lot of ways just kind of, I don't want to say numb to it, but like, I'm just kind of unbothered and indifferent about it. I'm just like, okay, like, I don't want to give that energy. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't feel good to give it energy. So why would I give it energy? So it's 29 days from now. Okay. This would be a really good, you go on a walk and you get really clear on one thing, and it should be something big. Like, it should still feel somewhat attainable, in my opinion, but it feels like a stretch. Okay. It feels like a stretch. And watch you move mountains. Okay. It's not going to happen overnight. There's going to be resistance, but pick that one thing, go all in like you've never done before. Like, something I keep saying to myself is, this time it's different because I'm different. Like, I've had great success in the past, but there's something about right now that's different because I'm different. I talk differently. I move differently. I think differently. I act differently. I make different decisions. And so, of course it's different. And I can't wait to see what happens because of it. And so there's a big fear. I've talked to a handful of women about this, the fear of abandonment. And I've had to work through this a lot myself. The fear of abandonment is real, where you fear getting too healthy, too wealthy, too happy, too hot for people to handle that are already in your life. And then them wanting to walk away from you. Sometimes, even if you have clients, it can be triggering to them. If you are too much or too different or too successful, like, it really can be triggering to people, whether they're working with you, whether they're following you on social media, whether they're in your family. And so, again, that inner people pleaser that so many people have, especially women, can stop you from so many blessings. But again, that is lack energy. That is lack mindset. Abundant energy, abundant mindset is, I know whoever is for me will never leave me. They will love me unconditionally, and I will love them unconditionally, and they will never leave me. And equally, it's okay if people leave me because they're on their own journey. And we don't want to mess with timelines of people's journeys. It's really, really important. So, like, as a mentor, I've had to really be cautious of when I see something for somebody, because I'm a visionary and very intuitive. I have to be careful or mindful that I don't push my own visions on people or my own timelines on people, because they're on their own journey. They're on their own path. I'm there to be a guide. I'm there to be a support. But, like, the path is already laid out for them. And so they may have to take twists and turns. It's kind of like when you're kids, you know, you see them doing something, you're like, right? It's like we can intervene, but like sometimes that's not what we're meant to do. Like, and so it's like that, it's like a song and dance, to balance those moments. But nonetheless, abundant energy is you're not willing to abandon yourself, your true authentic self. Because when you make decisions on how you should be based on other people because you're fearful of them leaving, that's lack energy, and therefore you're robbing yourself of so much abundance. And so it does take time to regulate around that and really work through that. But I think it's really important to think about, because if we're not too careful, then we can be robbing ourselves from so much abundance, so much love, so much success, so much peace. And I know I went through a lot of that for a couple years, to be quite honest. I want to somehow have like a tell-all, but I don't know how to do that right now. But I've gone through it. I have felt it. I'm on the other side. And I want you to feel this so deeply. And it is your choice, which is really exciting. So go on a walk and think about that one thing. Because we do love to work towards something as humans. And so when I have really had a lot of success as of recently of just focusing on the next 30 days. Don't worry about after that. Like, you can have visions and ideas and like desires beyond that, but we're not worried about it. We're not going to put too much energy around it, because you can create so many wealthy leaps in 30 days that then we can reassess what we need to do next. So it's actually just a better use of your time to focus on and zero in on the next 30 days. And then we look at, okay, we're focused on the next 30 days. Now we're just focused on the next week. And then we go even further of like today. And when we can really reverse engineer it like that, you're so much calmer. You have so much more focus. You don't worry as much. And also you take so much quicker action. So the blessings were outrageous in August. Like, I only scratched the surface on the blessings, both personally and professionally. It was just like every day was blowing my mind. And I really believe a huge part of that was leaning in to the energy of abundance. So I can only imagine what the month of September will be like when it's leaning in to the energy of fearing less and living more. Holy smokes. Like, who knows? Who knows what can happen next? We'll find out together. And I also found that to be really fun. Some of the days in August, I woke up not knowing what to do for the giveaway, not knowing what to do with the deal. I just tapped in to myself, my intuition, and it always showed me what was next. And it's a really cool thing when you can master the intuitive side of yourself, because that's your most authentic self. And she already knows your path. She already knows the way to everything you desire. We can struggle with that trust. We can struggle with the belief that like we really do know, but we really do know. Anything that we desire is already placed on our heart, which means it's already ours. We're meant to have it, but we do have to do the work. And so when we do the stop and start, right, then it makes it hard for it to come to real life. So that's why I've been talking so much about working through not being afraid, fearful of your wealthiest self, because I really do believe you're already your wealthiest self. It may just not feel like she's arrived yet because we're stopping and starting, we're running away, we're questioning, we're overthinking. So it's hard for her to shine. It's hard for you to shine, your wealthiest self to shine, when those are our actions. So it's like recalibrating you increasing your energy and continuing to move forward imperfectly, but making progress every single day. I want more people to believe that that's what it is, because it is. And when you actually lean into it, you're like, wow, that's awesome. It works. It was that easy. And you're going to shake your head when you actually like lean into it more and more and more. And I believe there's always another level of it too, right? There's always more that we can do. Again, abundance. There's always more, and more is not a bad thing. More is a good thing. You desiring more is also good. You being grateful for what you have, also great. That's abundance too. Like, hey, I'm happy with what I have. I'm grateful for what I have, and I desire more. Okay, great. That's a whole different energy than, there's never enough. I'm so annoyed. It's so stressful. Although that may be real, it's not helpful. And so finding the blessings, working through the gaps that you may have or feel, is a way better approach than the energy, right? So it's like the energy you put around everything really does make a world of a difference. So go on your abundance walk. Think about the next 29, 30 days, and let's get to work. I would love to support you. There's nothing more powerful than accountability. I can't tell you how many times Sarah's on my team, we were going back and forth with Taylor Swift. It really made it feel real. Like I've got somebody I'm like bouncing back and forth with, and it helped me not get scared enough to then walk away from it or run away from it. So like that outside love and accountability can be so powerful for everything that you desire, which then it's like worth every penny, right? Like if you wrote down everything that you desire, and if you had a mentor that helped you become the person that just naturally attracts those things over time and holds you accountable and works through all the hiccups, all the challenges, all the resistance with you, wouldn't that be worth it? And you could do it in record time and have fun doing it, right? Like, I'm not trying to sell you, but it's just like, it's the mindset shift of like, I'm not looking at the Taylor Swift tickets as an expense. I'm like, this is an investment. Let's 10x it, right? Like, let's 10x it. And that's abundance, right? Like, okay, Taylor Swift's holding the money, but she's going to send it back to us and write us an even bigger check, right? I really do believe that. And so it can just be really powerful when you shift your energy, shift your point of view, shift your day-to-day actions. And I'll keep saying it over and over and over and over again until more women are winning, and they're doing it with ease, flow, and fun. And they're like, oh my gosh, this shit works. I'm like, right? It works. It's so good. It's so good. So go on your abundance walk. Let me know what shows up for you. Let me know how I can help you. Again, thank you, Kristen, for sponsoring this episode. And thank you for bearing with me if you're watching the video. It is very dark by now, but I'm here and I love you, and I'll see you in September. Let's do this. Here, I'll see if I can get some light so I can give you a kiss goodnight.